Hi Year 3, hope you're all doing okay at home. This morning we're going to be working together on a little bit of writing. So to warm our brains up, we're going to do a quick activity first. Now I've got on my board the determiners a and an. And I've got some picture cards to show you. Now my picture cards are of nouns. So a noun is a person, place or thing. So I'm going to show you my pictures and then I want you to have a think with the people in your home to work out, is it going to go with a or an to determine our noun. So my first one is trowel, tree, umbrella, bee, plant, orange, spade, apple. Right, I've got my timer. I'm going to give you a minute to talk to the people in your home, see if you can work out which column are we going to put them in. Which word determines our nouns? Off you go. Right, Year 3, that's your minute. Let's see if we can have a go together. So we're going to go for our first one. Our first one is trowel. Now we know it goes with a trowel. Well done. Let's pick our next one. We'll go for this one. Apple. Is it a apple or an apple? That's right, it's an apple. We'll put that over here. Let's go for this one, our buzzy bees. Bee. Should it have a or an? That's right, it's a bee. Let's put that over here. Ooh, I wonder if there's a rule to help us remember where our nouns should go and the word which determines our nouns. Let's keep going to see if we can find one. Right, this is our next one. The word is orange. A orange or an orange? I can hear when I say the word an orange sounds right. So I'm going to put it over here. I think I've got it. I notice that apple and orange are both fruits. Maybe the fruits all begin with an an. Let's see, because I've actually snuck another one in. Pineapple. A pineapple or an pineapple? That's a pineapple, isn't it? I can use my alphabet up here to help me. I notice that some of the letters are blue, A, E, I, O, U, and some of them have been written in green. Maybe they can give us a clue. Let's go for another one. We have spade. Should it go in a or an? That's right, it's a spade. So we can use a bit of a rule to help us. We can look at the letter of the beginning of the word. So if I look at trowel, trowel begins with a T. T, if I look in my alphabet, is a consonant. So it begins with an a, so it determines a trowel. If I look over here though for an, I can see apple begins with an A. Now an A is a vowel. So because it begins with a vowel sound, we have an to determine our word. Let's see if we can look together now. Our next one is plant. Now I can see P is written in green, which shows me it must be a consonant. So I know that it's a plant. Let's add it down here. Right, we have this one, tree. What letter does tree begin with? That's right, it's a T. T is a consonant. So I know that because T is a consonant, it's a tree. I'll put that one here. Okay, we have our last one. This one is umbrella. Umbrella begins with the letter U. Now I can see U on my alphabet is being written in blue, which tells me it's a vowel. So I know that it needs to go with a determiner an. An umbrella. Have a think with someone at home. Can you think of any other nouns that we could add to our work? Right, Year 3, we did a fantastic job on our starter, and we now know whether we use the determiner a or an, depending on whether the next word begins with a vowel or a consonant. So we're going to use our starter work to help us with our main activity today. Today we're going to look at using commas in a list, because when we're doing our writing it's important we punctuate it correctly, so that's going to be our focus today. So I've started writing my sentence. I'm going to have a think now about the next part. Mr. Gum went to the shop to buy. Now I know that Mr. Gum's going to buy 3 items, so I'm going to put them in a list. It's almost like a shopping list for him. So I know that first of all he is going to buy, and I'm going to use my starter word to help me, an orange. So I'm going to use my determiner an orange. I'm going to write my items in red so you can see them. Mr. Gum went to the shop to buy an orange. Now, I said to you we're going to buy 3 things in our list. So I've got my first thing. Now, I'm going to write my second thing here that he buys from the shop, but there's a bit of punctuation that we need to include. So I'm going to get my pen and we're going to add our comma. So after we've done our first item, we add our comma. So I make sure my comma sits neatly there. So he's bought an orange. Now I'm going to think back. I know that he needs an umbrella because sometimes the weather is not very sunny and it can rain a little bit. Fortunately today it's a really sunny day. So I've got my comma. I'm going to write umbrella. Was it a umbrella or an umbrella? That's right, an umbrella, because umbrella begins with a U, which is a vowel. So I'm going to put an umbrella. Now, we've got our 2 items so far, and I said we're going to have 3 items that Mr. Gum is going to buy. So we need to think, do I put a comma there now? I don't. So between my last 2 items, I put the word and. So I'm going to write my word and then in red, I'm going to show my next item that I know Mr. Gum needs to buy from the shop. So he got an orange, an umbrella, and a packet of seeds. Because I know Mr. Gum needs to keep his garden nice and neat. A packet of seeds. Right then, I'm going to read through my work. Can you read it with me? We'll use our noisy punctuation. Mr. Gum went to the shop to buy an orange, an umbrella, and a packet of seeds. Full stop. I'm quite pleased with my sentence, and I know that I've used my commas correctly. In my turn. Let's have a go a bit of an our turn now to see if we can do the same idea. I could do Mr. Gum again as a character, and I could think about what he wanted to do, where he wanted to go. So maybe we'll go places to visit. So we'll start with Mr. Gum. Now Mr. Gum's a proper noun, so he needs capital letters for his name. So Mr. Gum needed to visit, and we can say where he wanted to go. Needed to visit the... And then we'll list our items. This time in our list, we're going to have 4 in our list this time. So we're going to think about our steps to success. We know we need to separate with commas, but between the last 2 items, we separate with our and. So we'll have a go together. Mr. Gum needed to visit the park. We could go for park first of all. So I'll do my first item here. Park. Let's have a think where else he might need to go. Now, I know that he went to the shop because he needs to get a little bit of shopping in. So I'm going to put my second list item. What do I need to separate it with? That's right, a comma. So we'll put a comma here. park. The park, shop, and park, shop. Now I said we're going to have 4 in ours, so we need to think of 2 more places that Mr. Gum could visit. He could visit the swimming pool. He is a bit stinky. He might need a little bit of a wash. So Mr. Gum needed to visit the park, shop. We'll put our comma in. We'll write the swimming pool. The swimming pool. Now we want our last place that he's going to visit. Do we need to put a comma there? No, that's right. We need to use an and instead. So we'll get our and. I'm going to say that he needs to go to the butcher's. He needs to go and get some meat. And the butcher's. Right, let's read our sentence through together. Are you ready? Mr. Gum needed to visit the park, shop, the swimming pool, and the butcher's. Oh, do you know what we've forgotten? We've forgotten our full stop. So I'll find my purple editing pen and I'll add it with my purple. And the butcher's. Right, so we've had a list. Now, the important part is we've used our commas correctly. So I'm going to set a bit of a challenge for you to have a go at writing your own list, maybe about what Mr. Gum bought from the shop, maybe places that he went to visit. Have a think, be creative. So that's your first challenge. I want you to go away now and go and write your own list of what Mr. Gum went to do. Hi Year 3, welcome back. How did you get on? Did you manage to include your commas in your list? Right, this time I'm going to show you a different type of list. In the last one we used nouns. This time we're going to use adjectives to describe. So the first place we're going to describe is this. Bit of an old castle. So I'm going to think of 3 adjectives to describe it. Now it is old, but I'm going to use a better word. I'm going to use the word ancient. I think it's quite a creepy place and a little bit strange. I certainly wouldn't want to spend the night there. So we're going to use that to describe it. So I'm going to put my picture up here and I've made a start already. So I have put, it was an ancient. So I've got my first adjective in there. I'm going to include my next one now. So I'm going to need my comma to separate them. It was an ancient creepy. So let me get my pen and I'll write the word creepy down here as well. It was an ancient creepy. And I use the word strange. I can spell the word strange because it's on the 3-4 word mat. And I remember strang with an E and I can sound that out. It was an ancient, creepy and strange. So I need my and. And strange building. Now I'm going to extend my sentence. But Mr. Gum went in to explore. So I think he might go in there. But, and I know I need my capital letters. Mr. Gum is a proper noun. But Mr. Gum went in to explore. Right, have I finished? No, need my full stop at the end. Let's read it through together to check mine. It was an ancient, creepy and strange building, but Mr. Gum went in to explore. Full stop. Quite pleased with that sentence actually. So we're going to have a think of the next one now. So this is a scene, a bit of a city. It looks to be quite a miserable day, quite dull really. So let's think of 3 adjectives that we could use to describe. In fact, we could come up with 4 adjectives. So I think it looks quite overcast because I can see all the clouds. I think it's a little bit misty as well. Now, if I said that it was wet and raining suggests the same thing. So I'm going to go for damp actually because I think it looks quite a damp day. So that's 3 adjectives. We need a 4th one. Can you think of one? How would you describe this day? Right, let's try together and put our ideas all together. So, remember I'm describing, so I'm going to start with, it was a something, something, something and something day. So I'm going to go for, first of all, it was a damp, I'm going to go for damp first, a damp overcast, that's my second adjective, let's get a third one in, we need a comma to separate, damp, overcast, dull, it doesn't look very bright outside, and now I'm going to have my last adjective, so I need my and to join them together. Now I imagine if it's a damp, dull day outside, it's going to be quite cold, so I'm going to put cold as well, and cold day, and I need my full stop at the end. Let's read it together. It was a damp, overcast, dull and cold day, full stop. So this time I've got my list describing my place or my day. Okay, so I've already put this together for you of your steps to success. So I have put down that you need to make sure in your lovely writing that you have included a capital letter and your full stop. They're really important and you know to include them year 3. I've put some advice, so you need to put your comma between your list except your last 2. And that's because we have our and here, so we've got something, 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 and something. We've got a little full stop at the end as well. I've also put a good advice here which says read, edit and check again. That's really important. Editing is one of the most important parts of writing, which you already know year 3. So I split it off into our different chilies. Let's go through them now. Okay, if you're going to go for the Chili 1 challenge, I've written a sentence for you. It says, Mr. Gum got some seeds, a trowel, a plant and gloves. If you're going for a Chili 1 challenge, I'd like you to punctuate that sentence correctly with your commas. If you're going for Chili 2 today, I'd like you to write 4 list sentences. Now I've written 4 there, so I'd like you to maybe try about doing 2 lists with nouns. So you're going to buy a packet of seeds, you're going to buy some gloves, and I'd like you to try 2 descriptive lists where you've described a place or an item. Okay, so those are your challenges. If you're Chili 3 today and really pushing yourself, I'd like to say, can you use your list sentences in a short story? You could use your character of Mr. Gum to help you.